Hi, and welcome to Adventures in Relationship. And
Hi, I'm Coach Stephanie, and welcome to an empowerment podcast. And we came together to do like a reunion podcast, I think, and catch up and see where we've been the last little bit and where we're going. And yeah, so this is like a reunion podcast, I think.
yeah, and a crossover episode for our new podcast. But Stephanie and I co-hosted The Way of the Femme. We actually had quite a few followers for that. So this
Yeah.
is also just a bit of a reorientation toward what we're up to these days.
Yes.
And just wanted to speak to our process, share that with you all.
Good idea. Yeah.
Kind of our growth and development goals,
Yeah.
that sort of thing, in case it's just helpful to hear about.
Yeah, I think both of us, we definitely, I feel like we just have fight in us. I think I know a little bit about your background and your upbringing and a little bit about mine. And so neither one of ours were easy. Not that anyone's is easy, but
Yeah.
we had ours, you know what I mean? And I think being self-reliant is a common trait that we both have. And I think that shows up in our work and kind of what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, the kind of complex PTSD induced self-sufficiency,
I know.
I don't need help, pathological
Everything's on
independence.
fire. Yeah. I know. It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, life has
Mhm.
been a roller coaster since probably right around when we started The Way of the Film. So it was hard to really get on track. And I am struggling with that too. I really am working to prioritize the podcast, prioritize my writing. And it's
Yeah.
just hard to do, just getting caught up in work and the day to day
Yeah.
relationships in my life. That's something I'm working on for sure, is trying to create this space and maintain the resources that I need to
Mhm.
work on my goals, really.
Yeah. I think it's the same for me. I've definitely recently, I was talking to somebody about this is the first time in my life that I haven't had someone outside of myself that dictated my life. And it wasn't that they might not have known that they were dictating, but that's the role that I take is whatever this person needs is what I'm gonna do.
Codependent.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yes, 100%, 100%.
I get that.
And it started with my mom, obviously, everything starts with their fucking parents, but it started with my mom. And I am in a place now in my healing and think y'all therapists do God's work. And I'm not even kidding. Like my therapist, I'm so grateful to have been with her for the better part of like 5 years now. And there's nothing like having somebody who's been can see can witness you prior to a traumatic event and then witness you during and after in a
Yeah.
therapeutic way. Like there's like no other place that you can go and have a person that does that other than like a therapist. You know what I mean? And I think she's definitely helped me a lot. And so now that I'm in a situation where I don't have an outer influence because it was my mom, and then it was my daughter I had at 15, and relationships, and now I'm left with like, I don't have that like lighthouse that's telling me where I'm going. Like I don't have the beaker that I'm so used to like using as my compass of what am I doing? How am I supposed to do this? Why am I doing this? Because I did it for somebody else for so long that now it's like really discovering that for me is then a big thing.
Yeah.
That's been a
No,
big thing.
you're the center of your
Mhm.
universe. Like you can
Yeah.
rotate around your own gravity.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's weird to me that people do have done this their whole lives.
Yeah, I
That's
have
where
just like they had a healthy ego development as a child and
I'm
a
like,
sense
is
of
this,
self.
do people
But-
really exist like that? Where are these unicorns at? Because
They do. I think that they're more rare than the studies show.
really,
Even just pertaining to attachment theory, like
Yeah.
they say that more than half of the population is securely attached, slightly more than half. And I don't buy it.
what do you think?
Oh, I think it's less than a third of the population actually develops secure attachment in childhood.
I think you're right. Probably.
Yeah, motherfuckers are avoidant, anxiously attached. And I think that the number of folks with disorganized attachment is way higher than the estimate too, which is like supposed to be the rarest, but I see a lot of disorganized attachment in my work.
And what is that? Explain to us.
Yeah, so disorganized attachment is often thought of as a combination of anxious and avoidant characteristics, but also with some of their own unique characteristics, which often include more reactivity or volatility, becoming incredibly dysregulated when there is a sense of threat in their primary attachment relationship.
Interesting. Okay.
In a nutshell, I know I have a lot of thoughts on attachment that I have a hard time writing about attachment. I haven't done a lot of, I haven't produced a lot of work about it because I do have a lot of criticisms, and there are a lot of people out there, not just me, who have criticisms and also like ideas about attachment that are, it's just kind of all over the place, like the nuances and some of the exceptions to the rules and the model. And it's every time I start to write about it, it's like I go off on these tangents and I'm just disorganized myself. And I do come from disorganized attachment, maybe more anxious leaning disorganized.
But so you're not writing about that. Are you writing about anything at all right now or not really?
Okay, yes. I am. Oh my God. So I haven't released a podcast in 2 months right now.
Okay.
I blame Mercury retrograde, 2 bad
As you should.
periods,
As you should.
a back muscle spasm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been nonstop, it seems like. But I did just wrap up the script. I might go through it and edit it. I might just try to wing it, but I use attachment as an application for the theme of the podcast, which is blaming the mother, which is, it's complex.
I had no idea. I just have to tell people, like, I had no idea that you were going to bring this up, which is really interesting because I'm like, it's my mom's fault.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, our mothers or people in that role. So, there are birthers of all genders, but I guess more biologically speaking, because we develop in that mother figure's womb, because ideally we're breastfed by that mother, taken care of by.
That's our survival.
We're
attached to that person.
Oh yeah. So their mothers do tend to be the first, I would say 99+% of the time are the first primary attachment figure. Sometimes,
100%.
that often expands to include the father, but it's the mother.
They're physically attached, not only like psychologically, like emotionally, but they're literally physically attached. Like that child knows from day one that its survival is completely relevant to this person.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We are completely symbiotic with our mother. So anyway, I just want to make sure I clarify that I don't know what I'm going to title it, but it's a little bit about patriarchy in psychology and how there is this like blaming the mother mentality, certainly in more psychoanalytic, like old school, like Freudian models, but how I bring in kind of social constructivism and just all of the systems of oppression, like imperialism, colonialism, capitalism, patriarchy, ableism. Right? Yeah. And so I actually say the reason why our mothers are so ill-equipped to really take care of us is because of the system of the Great White Father.
Mhm.
And so the root of our mama trauma is really in masculinity, not true masculinity.
Right. But what's been taken away from
Patriarchy.
our mother's ability to nurture or whatever. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what it's about. And it's, yeah, I've had to pull out a lot of stuff because it's like, I'm just writing way too much about this one aspect. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, I'll set that aside maybe for a future book.
Yeah.
It's also something that I would like to do is make time to write, like to
Yeah.
really write. I'd like to write some books. I got probably about 200 pages done on a book about boundaries a couple of years ago and kind of set that aside. And I don't know, I think this coming year, 2026,
Mhm.
is really going to be a year of me gaining traction in moving toward future career goals. I never actually wanted to be a therapist, but I love it. Like, it's just the way that the cookie is crumbled, the way
Mhm.
that the road is unwound in front of you.
I think that you have this intellect about you that is expressive, right? Like you want to express yourself and your thoughts and how you're processing things. You're also educated, and I think that, like you said, it's just the process of getting to where you want to get to. And I think there's some beauty. I think there's beauty in the process. I really do. And philosophically, in general, just there, I have to hold space for the process. But I think you being a therapist and actually doing time in the chair, I don't know how you call that, but like sitting and being on one-on-one with people, even though it might not be like the end all for you, does give you an insight and experience into an experience that you wouldn't have had if you didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So people can have all this knowledge and know all this shit, but if they're not like I don't want to say in the trenches, but if they don't pull those things back and are doing the work, knowledge without like experience really isn't really beneficial. So I think you are on the right path is what I'm long-windedly saying. And I think that the
Right.
stuff that you're doing is going to be part of the reason why what you do later is going to be great.
Thank you.
Yeah. It'll be good. I swear, you guys, therapists do God's work. I'm not even
Oh.
kidding. I'm not even
Some,
kidding.
there's some pretty awful stuff there too. But
That is
thank
true.
you.
Yeah.
How about you? What's it been like? Right. It's been over a year since you started your
Mhm.
empowerment.
Yes.
What the title of it?
It's literally
Coach? Definitely.
no, it's literally called an empowerment podcast.
Okay. Is that the emblem, little
Yeah,
image?
it's
It says
my-
like Coach
Mhm.
Seven Empowerment.
Yeah, it's just called an empowerment podcast. I think. Hopefully, because that's what I keep saying. So people are gonna look.
It's been over
You'll
a
find
year
it.
every week.
I know every week, and that was like it was a it was at that time in my life in November of last year is when I started it. And it was a little bit after the time that you and I had started ours because yours and mine originally started on Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, a year or 2 years prior.
Was it 2 years?
Probably 2 years
ago.
prior.
It was Halloween 2 years ago. And then I think I want to say my very first one, it was either, for some reason, I think November 4th, but I think that's election day. And that's why it's coming to mind.
Hmm.
But I think it was in the very beginning of November. And my life at that point was so, I can't even put to words the chaos that I had in my life. Not only, it wasn't even the chaos, because unfortunately I'm very conditioned for chaos. But what it was, nothing was relatable in my life. I didn't have an attachment to anything around me, which was very weird. And I'm a control freak. And so that was very difficult for me to sit with. And so the only thing that you do for me when I get into places like that For me, it's really important for me to create some type of stability. And the only way that I understand how to do that, where it's free, it doesn't cost money, like what are things I have control of? So this is probably a trauma response, but it works for me. What are the things that I have control of? I can control how I move my body, so I can control if I work out today. I can control what I eat. And I'm very blessed to be able to say that now, because there was a time when I was growing up that I didn't control that. Food was not really readily available. And whatever was there is what we did eat. So now I can say, like, I can control what I eat. And I can control like these very small pieces of things for me that were like, and always have been very like, what can I grasp on? And in my routine, it's very important to me. And so the podcast was on my mind around that time. And I had no idea how to do it. I had no idea how to do it because you were the one that did all the technical stuff. And so I had nothing but time and fucking energy that I needed to waste. And I looked up and figured it out and ended up launching a podcast. And that became something that it's important for people to have something that they look forward to on a regular basis, or something that keeps them accountable for something in the future. And so that was that for me. And I recorded a podcast every Monday. I missed one Monday and I'm proud of it. Like, I will take my one proudly that I missed it. In the past, I would have fucking torn myself up for that. So close to perfection.
Virgo.
So close. I know. And now I'm like, you know what, bitch, you fucking pat on the back, bitch. Good for you. And I made sure that I recorded one, even if it was late. I had late ones. Didn't give a fuck. My podcast come out on Monday. I posted a podcast on Thursday that week. A podcast. There's grace that's been learned this last little bit for me, for sure, too. Ego deaths. It's been insane. It's been insane. It's been insane, but it's been good. But it's been really good. And I've been working a lot, which is good because I don't have anybody to direct what I'm doing or why I'm doing it except for me. And so I was left very confused and like stir crazy. But then I luckily know that I love my work, and I don't even know, like, it doesn't even matter what work it is, as long as it's on me, actually. Like, it doesn't matter. I love working. Like, I don't, I'm doing a calendar right now. I did a 6-week program. I have a 14-day holiday survival thing I'm launching tomorrow. Today's Sunday. I don't know when this is going to go on, but today's Sunday. So there's a lot. I don't mind just sitting and creating and working, as long as it's like my shit. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, but so it's been good. I've been able to dive inward this last little bit. It's been nice.
Yeah. Your podcast is great. I listen to it every week.
you.
And it's so brief and just always motivating and inspiring.
It's good. I'm glad.
Well, they're 30-minute commute now, so yeah, I listen to it.
That's sweet.
Just add it to my list. I always have like podcasts I'm listening to. Add it to queue. Add to queue. Add to queue. Play next.
Same thing with yours. I love listening to your stuff. It's been helpful for me. And yeah, you sound great. You love everything that you say is very well thought out, and your points are always solid, and you give these really great examples of things. And I think it's the same thing with fitness too. I think if people understand the monster, if you can understand how the monster acts and thinks and functions, then you have power over that. You know what I mean? But if you don't, like, when I say that, for me, like, let's look at habits, right? Habits are are hard to break and easy to form. You know what I mean? And when I explain to people that when they're beating themselves up, I don't know why. I hear all the time, I guess I'm just lazy. I am tired. I don't have time. All of these things are like the number three reasons why people don't work out. And then they start to beat themselves up about it. And they're like, I'm just a piece of shit. Like something's wrong with me. Like, why can't they do this? I'm good for 3 weeks and then they jump off. And when I explain to them how like the brain function like works and creates a pattern and like that there's this process to it and it takes time, when they can understand the beast and they know how it's working, then they can like work it against itself. And I think with your stuff, like when somebody understands, like if they could ever look back and be like, oh, I feel like that might be me. And I'm so not about having like holding on to a diagnosis or letting that diagnosis rule your life. But if you do have something that relates to you in a heavy way, there are tools and skills and things that can help you to manage it better and have like a better quality of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think understanding like the monster, understanding how things work, and I think you do a really good job in your podcast of explaining. And you cite what is the book for
DSM.
Yeah, you cite the DSM, and I think I thought when I heard that, I was like, that is so cute. And she's like citing the medical book, but I love it, and I think it's the information that you put out there is really important and informative, and people need to be aware of some things.
Yeah. And I recently went in and I even changed my kind of like the YouTube banner photo and the link to image that I use to include like insights for adults with complex PTSD. Because I also think a large portion of the population, basically anybody who has insecure attachment, likely has complex PTSD. But yeah, I think I'm trying to apply my messages or kind of target that audience of folks who had relational rupture in childhood, who never had really great relational models to follow. As I'm trying to really help those folks, myself included. Like so many of us have, we just never learned how to be in a healthy relationship. So a lot of the content is focused on relationships. So somewhat with hi, my favorite kitty cat just walked in. Mops. Maybe she'll come
So
here.
pretty.
Yeah, so I'm trying to focus on reaching that audience right now a little more and working with the pack model, but also some other models and thoughts about relationships and stuff. I'm gonna get this kitty cat, I think. I'm gonna show you all how cute she is. If I can get her. She's under the bed over here.
Let's see.
Hi, baby.
Oh, she's right there.
You wanna say hi to people on YouTube? I know that people listening to the podcast can't hear you, but this is now, so she's not very happy. Let me just put you in a position where you can land better.
Camera shot.
Baby. Thank you. Okay,
So
yeah, she doesn't know Stephanie. Well, she's met Stephanie, but she's a pretty shy girl.
Yeah.
My cat said you're a bitch.
I know. I love that shirt. I love that shirt.
Yeah, me too. I saw somebody, an older lady, wearing it on a video.
really?
I think a video one or something. And yeah, so I searched for it, and there's an artist on Etsy that makes them. So I got one for me, and one for Jessica.
That's super cute. When you walked in, I was like, and yeah, that's perfect. Oh, I thought that was like a ball you look into.
Like a crystal.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I didn't.
You could look into a ball of yarn.
It's a ball of yarn. I didn't realize that was a ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on next for you? What's coming up for you?
I really got to fit into my schedule, like working on my writing and podcasting every week. Whether or not I release one every week, I don't know. That would be the goal. But I'm honestly getting really busy with work. Like I'm getting a lot of referrals and not just, I've gotten a lot of referrals since I went into private practice. Like right away, I was surprised how quickly my caseload filled up, but it was mostly like random. Like I'm just looking for a therapist. And now I'm getting all of these, I guess, outreaches. When people reach out,
Yeah.
I'm getting contacted by folks who they really like the description of how I do therapy and my Psychology Today. And I'm working with about half couples now, half couples, half individuals. And they're all just very like, they want to work with me. And that feels great that I'm getting like that type of work finally in my life. But yeah, it's hard to turn down too. It's really hard to be like, oh, my caseload's just full. And I usually try to, now I guess when I get people reaching out to me, they're like, I know it says that your caseload's full and maybe you could put me on your wait list. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm like, and there might be somebody who's available now. And if you need support now, like, so I try to find people referrals if they're in more imminent need. But beyond that, I don't tend to keep a wait list. I tend to just squeeze them in. I'm like, okay, but what if we could start meeting like when I have cancellations? I could let you know. We schedule a consultation and just talk about like, yeah, I mean, once or twice a week. If you have a flexible schedule, I get cancellations, maybe we could fit you in. So I'm just like squeezing people in.
Yeah.
And it's not making time and space for my more creative endeavors right now.
Yeah.
But that's the goal, to actually like keep time blocks in my, like I can do that. I just haven't done it. That's what you're talking about, just incremental change, habits. You just need to make it happen.
It is. Well, it's a lot more than that though.
Yeah.
And that's why people get into these cycles that are repetitive because it just takes time to do something different. And that usually takes about 3 to 6 months. And that's a long time.
3 to 6 months to do something different.
For it to become a norm.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason is because when you start something different, shit's going to happen. Shit's going to fucking throw you off. You're going to get sick. You're going to need to do something. You're going to get a back spasm. You're going to start your periods. Mercury's going to fucking retrograde guaranteed in that period of time.
Yeah.
And so you need to have practice of falling off of the new cycle so that you're able to create different neural pathways again, because it's like it doesn't matter really if you're sick or you give yourself that 3 days to recover and then you go back to the gym and you don't really sulk on that because that's going to just keep happening. And so, and I think there's some studies out there also that talk about there's more than, and this is, I do a lot of this with my life coaching clients, is people get stuck in this idea that there's really like 1 or 2 ways to do something, right? Like this is the way that you have to do it. And there are some people who are extremely efficient and productive and reach their goals. But what they end up doing is they do their life, whatever. And then all of a sudden there's this burst of or free time to completely like headfirst into a project. And then they are able to do more work in that 5-day period than they would in the month of the blocked schedule type of thing. And that kind of goes off of like this idea, there's a lot of antidepressants in this country. And there's this idea that we're all supposed to just be a certain way all the time, right? And I'm not talking about chronic, and I'm not talking about like serious psycho emotional distress. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that, disclaimer. I'm talking about people in an ebb and a flow of their life. And we don't understand that sometimes ebbs and flows can last a little while, I think. And will come out of it. And so some people just function and work in the ebb and the flow. Some people don't like that. They need structure to see the needle moving. So what I'm trying to say to you is I think the needle is moving for you, even if it's not structured. You did 200 pages. Did that in a big shot. Unloaded a bunch of that in a big shot. And I think that when you're writing like that too, especially about boundaries, it's a lot of internal kind of work and reflecting. Like, what are your beliefs about boundaries? What does that mean about how you're behaving? You're going to have to reflect about what your definition of that is and what is it's not and stuff like that. So give yourself some grace. I think a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to become something that's not natural to them. And honestly, I think is a waste of time. I think that if people really understood what was natural to them and allowed that to happen, it would be a lot less friction.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. We do tend to think that there's this right linear way to do things, and it's the way of the femme to be more spiralic. Yeah, spiralic, whatever that is. You know, to have to march to the beat of our own drum.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that my nature is also to implement some more structure in my life. So that'll work for me. But yeah, I think what you're saying is absolutely true, that we do tend to think that there is a right way to do things when
it's very
not
narrow.
necessarily true.
And that those right ways also come with stereotypical personalities and what they look like and how they act and things like. So there's this. It's just interesting when you work with humans and you see what keeps them from their goals. It's very interesting. Yeah.
What do you see as keeping people from their goals?
Well, there's I guess the first thing that would come up first would be their why. People don't really understand their why isn't big enough. But prior to that, why they're doing something, they don't even really understand. People just live their life and do their thing and go to work and live out their life. And it's just what they do. I don't think people really know what they want. I think people think that they know what they want. And then when you talk to them a little more, it boils down to very simple things, usually like love, acceptance, things like that. But I don't think people really truly know what they want. I think they have an idea of what they want. And so when they come to me, and I'm like, okay, why? Like, this is like the question of the fucking consultation when I have clients. It's like, why do you do that? Why do you feel this way? Why? So it's just constant digging. And then come to find out maybe what they wanted is a piece of it, but there's more to that. So I think people really don't know what they want.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like what's motivating them is often unconscious, and what they're really searching for is something that is intangible. It's a feeling like I want to feel free. I want to feel loved. I want to feel beautiful. I want to feel confident. But they're assigning this goal
to obtain that.
Yeah, when that's not necessary or even aligned. Maybe it's some
Yeah,
in some
really,
cases.
honestly. And so we spend so much time and energy doing these things. And it's just interesting. It's very interesting to me. It's almost reminds me of like zombies just
Mhm.
running around. Like it sounds really bad, but it's almost like they're just like
Well, and it's us too.
oh,
It's just like
100%.
the human species, at least at this
Yes.
time in history or whatever.
Yeah. And capitalism wants us to always be needing something outside of ourselves
Yeah,
to
right.
consume, right? There's all of these programmings, but it's just so sad to. And I'm grateful that I get to talk to the people that I talk to, but I just wish more people were more aware of themselves in a higher baseline than what we are.
I think what comes up a lot in the work that I'm doing more is I'm really focused on relationships, even with individual clients, their relationship to themselves being foundational, but really working on skills like how do you speak up about something when you're upset, when you're afraid of rejection or their reaction or so I do a lot of work with individuals around relationships in their lives, also like people who are dating and how to like be honest and authentic, but also not like overshare too soon, all these little nuances, but also in couples. But I think what I witness a lot of is that people don't believe that they can have what they want or that they deserve what they want.
Yeah.
They're huge. And I'm so sorry. My cat's trying to get out the door.
Yeah,
now.
let her
I have to
out.
Let her out. I'll be right back.
Let her.
Indy?
She's on. Can we take a moment?
Yeah, so we have a doggy door here that leads to the cow. She's not going out now. Well, it's because the fire monsters on that pellet stove.
Okay, what she calls it?
That's what I call it because she acts like it's a monster. So there's a pellet stove out there. My partner is burning wood pellets to warm the place, but that's like worse than a vacuum to her. Cat's only vacuum.
She can't do it.
Yeah. There's a little litter box. Just
Oh, good.
She never uses it, but just in case this happens.
Yeah, just in case.
Because I also meet with clients in here, and sometimes like she'll be coming in or out of the the catio, and like it's a really bad like a client is really expressing something emotional. Just a minute. Hold on just a sec. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, there she goes.
It's like, fuck this shit. I'm going back outside.
This is so cute. They get like good sun right there, huh? Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. We have a really nice catio.
Yeah, they do.
I think the business owner, a guy in Albuquerque named, I think it's like the catio guy.
Oh,
Like that.
seriously.
Yeah, catio isn't the business name, but when we bought this house, we got it custom built.
It's very nice.
It's really
It's worth
big and
it.
nice.
The cats they're so cute out there. They're sportive. It's crazy.
What do you think your listeners would want to know or anything else? And I guess I'll also think of the question for myself too. What our listeners might gain from this conversation, if there's anything we could exchange that would be beneficial.
I think we were talking about the cat. And then we were talking about
I can start if you're trying.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it really is around this. And we didn't really, we decided not to really like plan out in detail. We're like, let's just show up and do a reunion crossover episode and see what happens. But I think really just talking through kind of the realness of getting something started. So we were talking about goals and like just having, if you want a podcast, if you want to write a book, if you want to start a business, all things which we've done and didn't know we could do and struggled a lot in doing so.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just the reality and modeling that just it's
Yeah.
one step at a time, just do the next thing. And
Yeah. I think, and I was thinking about this before. I think for me, growing up, when you come from nothing, like everything is something. And it's so like, as long as I'm like not back to where that was, where my mom was like smoking crack and like, I feel like I'm doing okay. Like, and it's, there is a certain amount of grit, I think, that you and I have. That's just like the next thing. It's not easy to reach your goals. I think you have to believe, I think you have to believe in yourself that you can make that goal and that you can achieve what you want. You have to believe it for sure. You have to believe that you're worth it, right? Like that's what you were saying.
yeah, and one simple way to increase your belief in your self-worth is to remind yourself to put it down on a sticky note. Like you might use the words, I am incredibly valuable.
Mhm.
I am precious. I deserve to thrive in this life.
Yeah.
And that's just an affirmation. And if you read an affirmation and you're like, that doesn't feel aligned
Yeah.
because I don't think I deserve to thrive.
Mhm.
Then you can even adapt your affirmation to I am learning to believe.
Yeah.
I am
Absolutely.
discovering every day that I am deserving of.
Mhm.
So you can remediate affirmations if they don't feel aligned, but that's just one way. And then prove it to yourself. Put the effort toward
Yeah.
your goal.
And I think that's also what happens with people that go to the gym. There's something that happens when you are able to be credible to yourself. When you're able to say, I'm going to do this, and then you do it. It creates reliance on your own person, on your own self, which is really what the issue is. Like when you don't believe in yourself, or if you don't think highly of yourselves, like going to the gym when you say you're going to go to the gym, stretching when you say that, you're getting the right rest, drinking the right amount of water. Those create a relationship with yourself that's like, you know what, I am important.
Yeah.
I am a priority, and I can trust my own inner guide that what I'm doing is right. I think that's where the practice comes. And for in my perspective, in my class, like what I'm looking through, I think that's one of the really amazing things that I love about holding yourself accountable. And my podcast was the same way too. It was like, I'm going to do this thing and show up for myself because I know that I can do that. And that was good. I think.
What was that like? Can I just ask and I could share my own experience too of like learning these, the technology, the process. Like, what was that like? Were there days where you're just like, fuck this, like, why isn't this working? God damn it. Like banging your head. Cause I know I've experienced lots of that. And recently just with like all these AI features and the different audio and video editing, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why isn't this working? Like typing into the support bot, like all these, what the fuck? And just lots of frustration for me, at least.
I remember those, you use Sound Lab.
You use SoundCloud?
You told me you used Sound Lab.
I used, I think Audacity.
Sorry.
When we were working together, it was Audacity.
So that's what I got because that's what
And I was using Ableton before.
And no, I use Audacity. And so I just watched this YouTube video. I'm the type of person that will do something and then learn from how it didn't work. You know what I mean? And so when I released my first few podcasts, the sound was bad, like things were whatever. And so people that were listening to it were like, I can't hear you at all. Like the music in the background's too loud. And so then I would Google frustrating. I am so fucking callous to challenge at this point in my life. Like, I don't even know what frustrating is. Like, if it's not hard, difficult, frustrating,
I lose my
fucking-
mind over like nothing.
nothing is easy. I swear to God, I was trying to get I use Square processing for payments. I don't use, there's another one I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's another thing that I was trying to get connected for payment processing, and I had to like verify my fucking bank account, and then my bank account sent me a code, and like I had to do this thing, and it like wasn't working. And I've done it 1,000 times, so I know like there must have been a connection issue in the background, like something beyond me at fault for what the fuck was going on.
Clearly.
Right. And so I'm like, something's not fucking right. And so it's like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna expect anything to be easy ever again in my life. Like at this point, like I'm just like, it's hard, it's motherfucking hard. Like it's been hard, it will be hard. And the sun will set in the fucking west. That's just how I feel. Like even before this last year and a half with the other business ventures that I had prior, that shit was hard. It's always been difficult. It's been difficult. And now I'm just like, thank God I'm a true believer. And I think beliefs, if I take away from today's episode, I think it's really important to understand your beliefs, like your actual beliefs, like the beliefs that make you navigate the way that you navigate in the world. And for me, I think I'm a big believer that natural law is the right law for me, like as far as spirituality. And these are things you can see in nature repetitively over and over again, right? And so I believe that the only way to grow is through difficult fucking shit. Like the only way to get through it, the only way to like evolve and
change. We usually have to be uncomfortable.
You have to go through fucking shit. Like a little seedling is gonna sprout and it has to push the fucking dirt, and it's barely like a grain thing, and it's pushed through the ground and gravity to get to the fucking sun. Childbirth is disgusting. It's fucked up. It's painful. It's fucking shit and piss. One of the most beautiful things that can happen. But life is required, like that, to be able to have a life, that much shit is required to happen.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
It's insane. The closest thing to death that I think a woman can get to without dying. That's worse. Yeah, that's worse. You're gonna live through this. You're gonna it's crazy to me. And so in some weird, and maybe it's just how I've figured out how to fucking survive myself, but whatever you're going through, whatever it is, if it's hard, know that on the other side of that, the only option on the other side of that is change and growth. If you're willing to be on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes you just have to put it down for a minute. Like I'm still trying to figure out how to use social media. I'm not like completely illiterate geriatric yet, but I still am just like, why, like, what the fuck with this versus that? How do I expand the type? Like I still struggle. I reach out to Stephanie sometimes and I'm like, how do I schedule a thing? Like, how do I schedule a story for later? And stuff's like, you can't, but you can schedule a reel for later.
Yeah.
Shit like that. But I'll like try until I'm gonna lose my mind, and then I lose my mind a little bit. I'm like, God damn it, fuck this shit, and I like put it down, walk away, have a popsicle, a fudgesicle, and I'm really stuck around with regular popsicles, just chocolate. And I come back to it later, and sometimes it's like miraculously it just works, and it didn't before. Yeah, because that energy of just frustration creates blinders.
No, you just have to put it down. You just have to put it down, come back to it later. It'll be there. It'll fucking be there.
Yeah, for me at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't terribly frustrating, but I'm just like, if you're not dead, if I'm not dying, everything else is going to be okay.
Yeah, you definitely have a strength, a certain grit.
Or
You
naiveness.
both have a grit, but yeah, just your frustration tolerance is pretty high.
Yeah.
Mine's not.
My mom, though, again, it goes back to my fucking mother. She's a handicapped, mentally ill individual that I allowed her disability to enable her behavior for my own rational tolerance of her. Now looking back, I'm just like, God, crazy.
Yeah, and this rightly, I guess the tribulations because I can't think of a cooler word right now, that we experience, either they stunt our growth in that area, or if we have found ways to circumnavigate those challenges, then they can become strengths.
Yeah.
I can't say that I certainly would be predisposed to managing frustration based on my childhood, but I just am not good with it.
Yeah.
But I find probably less things frustrating than a lot of other people. I do witness a lot of people being frustrated by things that that don't affect me in that way.
Yeah.
But certain things like technology, like speeding tickets. Oh my God. I got 4 speeding tickets within the past 2 months.
Here in Las Vegas?
No, in Albuquerque on Gibson, but they're sending them to me in the mail.
Gibson too.
Yeah, they have all these
Yes.
yeah, they send them to you in the mail.
And I live with
Anyway,
Gibson.
so I keep getting those in the mail, and then having to write a literal check because of this is
Can't scan the
no, it's okay, I could, so you can pay it online, but I got online and discovered I had 3 more speeding tickets that I didn't know I had. And in order to pay it on there, you have to have the PIN number that comes with the mail.
Oh my God,
the mail that
so
they send you.
stupid.
But I had no PIN, so I couldn't pay them online. So I had to like that kind of shit just makes me lose my mind. Doing my taxes, oh my God, I hate it. I just dread it. That technical, papery, and technological stuff is hard for me.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. There's other things that are not hard for you, so
yeah,
that's okay. But you can hire somebody to do those things too.
Yeah, we trust them.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I have concerns about that too. I thought about it.
okay.
But it would take me almost as much. I realize this is everybody has a hard time delegating, has these same cop outs, but it would take me just as long, or almost just as long, just to detail what I want done, when I could just do the damn thing.
Yeah, and at least at that point you're learning from the experience too. Yeah, I think that's a big takeaway. I think the takeaway would be to think about what you believe in, what you really believe in, not because somebody else is there, but what do you believe in and why? Start there, and then you can start with your goals.
Okay, what's an example? Start with what you believe in.
Start with what you believe in.
You could use me as an example.
Okay, so what you believe in. You're doing your book about boundaries. I think that and I'm not psychoanalyzing you, maybe you should tell me why you think you're doing the book. But I think that because you said earlier you didn't want to just be a therapist. You didn't want to just be a therapist. You knew that there was something else that you wanted to do. And I think sharing your ideas, I guess to this earlier, like sharing your ideas and what you understand with people so that they can live life a little bit with more knowledge and understanding and happier. I think that's a belief. I think you want the people around you to be happy. I think you really care about others' happiness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like part of my purpose here is to help people experience more emotional freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to be contributing assistance with attaining emotional freedom in the world. And I want passive income. I want to sleep more and rest more and spend more time with my cats and my baby and my friends and pay off. I have massive student loan debt, just stuff. So some of it is like comfort, financial ease.
And that's when I meet my clients, that's usually how the conversation happens, but it starts backwards. So it'll be like, I want to make passive income. Okay, how much passive income are you wanting to make? I want to make $60,000 of passive income next year. Okay, what bills does that cover? Blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, why do you want to make it? It boils down to I want more time with my cats, more time with my partner, more time with the league. Why do you want? Okay, so why are you coaching people? What makes it? Because when you have a mission of contributing to people's happiness, your motivation for doing a podcast every week, if that's really what you want to do, and it's very important for you to contribute the best that you possibly can while you're here, that's going to be more motivation for you to create a schedule that you can do.
That,
versus paying off your fucking student loan debt, you have a resentment. There's a negative association with that.
Yes.
You know, most of us don't want to reach a negative association. It's the same for you that we would have to pay. Like you don't actually want to.
No, I don't
think you need to, right? But you could be like a law-abiding, tax-paying motherfucker.
Yeah,
because that's important to you for whatever reason. However,
freedom. I just don't want to be in prison.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
That's important. Freedom's important. But if you understood, like, I want and remembered, I want to make an impact with my time and with what I'm doing here so that people can feel a certain way and have that understanding of themselves, that's going to help you really stick to things that you're wanting to achieve.
Yeah, that clicked for me. Thank you. And hopefully this conversation was helpful and inspiring, or at least interesting. Yeah, to the listeners or viewers.
Just one of you. If so, please let us know what your thoughts are. And yeah, because it's been fun. I loved the conversations we've had in the past. If you haven't listened to the previous episodes on Amy's podcast, you should definitely try to catch up. I'm in there for a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll cross-reference. So in the show notes, I'll add a link to Stephanie's podcast and mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you scroll back to, I think it would just be the previous season.
Yeah.
So I think my podcast titled Adventures in Relationship is season 4, but season 3 is, The Way of the Femme.
Yeah, and I'll also cross tag and do all that technical stuff on my podcast too, so people can listen to yours, and I'm recording so people will hear mine too. I'll let you know when that happens, but I'm excited. Likewise. I'm excited. It was good to chat.
Yeah.
See what happens.
All right. Thank you all for listening, viewing, and we'll catch you next time.